Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session on Concept Solutions Feedback Documentation. In this lesson, we'll focus on how to document stakeholder feedback in a clear, professional, and useful manner for future decision-making. We'll cover what needs to be recorded, when and how to record it, and how to present that information so others can understand the context, even if they weren't present. We'll also explore how to get feedback on your documents, how to choose the right people to review them, and how to make sure your purpose and audience are clear from the start. By the end of today, you'll understand how good documentation supports better communication, stronger accountability, and more effective follow-up actions. What to document? When we talk about documenting feedback, we mean capturing everything important, both positive contributions and areas for improvement. For example, if a stakeholder offers a great idea for improving a process, record it clearly. If they raise concerns about performance issues, capture those too as well. This isn't about being selective. It's about creating a true and balanced record of what was discussed. Always include what was actually said and what was done during the discussion. These records become valuable references later, whether you're reviewing progress, settling disputes, or deciding on the next steps. How to document timing is crucial. You should write your documentation during the meeting or immediately after, not the next day. Waiting too long means details can be forgotten or altered in your memory. Write as if you are explaining the discussion to someone who wasn't there. Be clear, structured, and professional so that anyone reading it later understands the context and intent. For example, instead of writing, "We talked about the project," you might write, "The stakeholders discussed the proposed project timeline and agreed to bring forward the testing phase by 2 weeks to meet client expectations." That way, the reader understands exactly what happened and why. Always include your name, position, and the full date on the document. What documentation must provide? Good documentation is factual and objective. It should focus on what was said, not your interpretation of it. Avoid emotional language or personal opinions. It should clearly note any agreements made, who is responsible for each task, changes to the plan, deadlines and deliverables. For example, John Smith will prepare the updated budget by 15 May. Setting exact dates removes uncertainty and ensures everyone knows what's expected. Also, remember to share documents early, but make sure you tell people what stage the document is at and the kind of feedback you're looking for. How to get feedback on documents. Getting feedback on your documentation is important because it helps refine the content and improve its quality over time. Tools like Google Docs, Etherpad, or Office 365 make it easy for people to review and comment on documents. But there's a catch. Without clear guidance, reviewers can give feedback that's either too detailed for the stage you're at or too far off topic. For example, if your document is still in early draft form, you might not need line-by-line edits. You might just want feedback on the structure or clarity. Tell reviewers exactly what kind of feedback would be most helpful right now. Consider who should give feedback. It's tempting to send your document to a large group of people, but too many voices can overwhelm the process and dilute the usefulness of the feedback. Choose reviewers who can help move the document to the next stage. You can always seek wider input later, once the content is more polished. For example, in the early stages of a technical report, you might only share it with a subject matter expert and the project lead, rather than the whole department. Make the purpose and audience clear. When you've been working on a document for a while, you know exactly what it's for and who it's aimed at, but your reviewers might not. Make the purpose clear. Tell them why you created the document and who the intended audience is. This helps reviewers keep their feedback relevant. If the purpose isn't clear, specifically ask for feedback on clarity. For example, you might say, "Please let me know if the purpose of this proposal is obvious after the first page." Clarity from the start means you'll get feedback that's focused and actionable, not scattered and confusing. To sum up, effective documentation captures discussions accurately, is written promptly and professionally, and provides a clear record that supports future actions. By getting the right feedback from the right people at the right time, you ensure your documents stay relevant, accurate, and valuable. Well-documented feedback is more than a record. It's a tool for building trust, improving decisions, and guiding projects to success.